The 1-0 loss to Sevilla was more than just a stumble. It was a wake-up call for the entire Barcelona system under Hansi Flick. Under the blazing Andalusian sun, Barcelona seemed poised to reclaim their pride after the defeat to PSG. But instead, they collapsed in chaos. Sevilla exposed every weakness in Hansi Flick's philosophy. And although Marcus Rashford shone with a dreamlike goal, a lone star could not save a team crumbling from within. Barcelona did not lose due to a lack of effort, but because their system had completely fallen apart, and Rashford, brilliant as he was, remained only a flicker of light in a night of darkness. From the opening minutes, Barcelona showed signs of disarray. Hansi Flick's team stuck to their familiar high-pressing style, hoping to suffocate the opponent in their own half. But Sevilla, always resilient at Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, stayed calm and waited for their moment, and just one counterattack was enough to bring Barcelona's defense crashing down. In the 13th minute, Isaac Romero broke free and faced off with Ronald Araujo. The contact was minimal. Romero went down inside the box, and the referee initially waved play on. But after VAR intervention, Alejandro Muñiz Ruiz unexpectedly changed his decision and pointed to the penalty spot. The entire Barcelona team protested furiously, while Hansi Flick stood frozen on the touchline. Still, the decision stood. Alexis Sanchez made no mistake, calmly slotting the ball past his former club to give Sevilla a 1-0 lead, the beginning of a stormy afternoon for the visitors. After conceding, Barcelona pushed their line even higher in search of an equalizer. But that only left them more exposed to Sevilla's counterattacks. Flick's high-pressing system, which relies on razor-sharp spacing between lines, was ruthlessly dismantled. Every time Barcelona's forwards pressed up, Sevilla needed just 2 passes to break through midfield and launch the ball behind centre-backs Araujo and Cubarsí, where Gerard Martín on the left flank was constantly left in 2-against-1 situations. If not for Szczesny's heroics in goal, Barcelona might have conceded 3 times within the first 30 minutes. But what was bound to happen eventually did. In the 36th minute, Ruben Vargas made a run down the flank and squared the ball for Romero to easily double the lead to 2-0. Just when it seemed the first half would end in disaster, Marcus Rashford appeared. In the 45th plus 7 minute, from a precise cross by Pedri, the English striker unleashed a lightning-fast first-time volley, driving the ball into the top corner. It was such a stunning goal that even the Sevilla crowd couldn't help but gasp in admiration. Hope flickered for Barcelona, but it was only a small flame amid a raging storm. But what was bound to happen eventually did. In the 36th minute, Ruben Vargas made a run down the flank and squared the ball for Romero to easily double the lead to 2-0. Just when it seemed the first half would end in disaster, Marcus Rashford appeared. In the 45th plus 7 minute, from a precise cross by Pedri, the English striker unleashed a lightning-fast first-time volley, driving the ball into the top corner. It was such a stunning goal that even the Sevilla crowd couldn't help but gasp in admiration. Hope flickered for Barcelona, but it was only a small flame amid a raging storm. After the 1-4 defeat to Sevilla, many began to realize that Barcelona's problems run deeper than just player form. They stem from the very footballing philosophy Hansi Flick is determined to pursue. The German coach brought to Spotify Camp Nou a high-pressing system, a hallmark of German football, demanding near-perfect cohesion, speed, and discipline. But at Barcelona today, that belief is slowly turning into a burden. Flick insists that pushing the defensive line higher allows Barcelona to dominate and suffocate opponents, hoping to recreate the image of Bayern Munich in 2020. However, the key difference lies in personnel. Araujo, Cubarsí, and Hector Fort are capable defenders, but they lack the pace and chemistry needed to control the space behind them. Sevilla, much like PSG just days earlier, ruthlessly exploited that weakness. A single through ball was often enough to send their forwards clear on goal. Flick wants Barcelona to press aggressively and control every inch of the pitch, but that very system is now pressing down on itself. When the forwards fail to win the ball back quickly, the space behind the defense gapes open, and no one is fast enough to cover it. The 1-2 defeat to PSG in the Champions League wasn't just a loss on the scoreboard, it was a blow to the team's spirit. The 1-4 defeat to Sevilla made it clear that Barcelona's problems go far beyond player form. They lie deep within Hansi Flick's footballing philosophy. The German coach, once seen as a symbol of order and intensity, now appears increasingly uncertain under mounting pressure. Tensions with the Spanish Football Federation over Lamine Yamal's injury and harsh criticism from the Spanish media have left Flick looking distracted. The once calm and composed figure now stands on the touchline visibly anxious, even desperate. His players mirror that same fragility, lacking confidence, cohesion, and crumbling the moment they concede. Even as Sevilla completely dominated, Flick stubbornly clung to his system. Substitutions like Eric Garcia or Alejandro Balda changed little. There were no tactical adjustments, no deeper defensive line, no rebalancing of the structure. Barcelona simply chased shadows in desperation. When Barcelona announced the loan signing of Marcus Rashford from Manchester United, skepticism was widespread. A player struggling in the Premier League arriving to revive Barcelona's attack sounded risky. Yet, in just over a month, Rashford has silenced many doubters. In his first 10 matches, he scored 3 goals and provided 4 assists, one of the few bright spots in an unstable team. At Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, he once again reminded everyone that form is temporary, but class is permanent. Rashford was one of the few Barcelona players who remained composed, constantly moving intelligently between Sevilla's centre-backs, pressing with energy, and even dropping deep to help defensively. His stunning volley in the 45th plus 7 minute, from Pedri's perfect cross, briefly silenced the home crowd. Beyond the goal, Rashford nearly bagged a brace early in the second half, his curling effort missing the post by inches. His speed and off-ball movement caused constant problems down Sevilla's left flank, where Carmona often pushed high. By stretching the defense, he opened central spaces for Pedri's passes. Rashford's pressing also helped Barcelona win the ball back faster, a small sign of how well he's adapted to Flick's high-intensity philosophy. He played the full 90 minutes, leaving only in stoppage time with a minor ankle knock, yet was still rated as Barcelona's best performer. However, one man cannot carry a broken system. Olmo was invisible, Lewandowski missed a penalty, and the midfield completely lost control. Rashford's efforts went in vain amid a disconnected, exhausted team. If he maintains this form, Barcelona will likely consider a permanent transfer at season's end. But if the chaos continues, Rashford's brilliance might only be a fleeting light in a dark season. The defeat to Sevilla marks the lowest point of Hansi Flick's tenure so far, the peak of a disastrous week. In just a few days, the man once praised for his attacking football became the center of criticism after back-to-back defeats to PSG in the Champions League and Sevilla in La Liga. The Spanish press called it Hansi Flick's Black Week. Even Barcelona-friendly outlets like Sport and Mundo Deportivo labeled the loss indefensible. Analysts warned that the team is losing its identity just weeks into the new season. Not only did Barcelona lose their unbeaten run, but they also surrendered the top spot in La Liga to Real Madrid, leaving a heavy psychological scar as the international break approaches. Questions about Flick's management and adaptability are growing louder. His devotion to a high-pressing German-style philosophy clashes with a squad lacking depth and stamina. Lewandowski, Olmo, and Ferran Torres are all struggling for form. The youth project Flick envisioned is also faltering, Lamine Yamal sidelined with injury. Marc Bernal caught in a tug-of-war between club and country. These issues have only deepened the tension within the dressing room. Flick insists the system isn't to blame, but both PSG and Sevilla have ruthlessly exposed the same fatal flaw: the vast space behind Barcelona's high defensive line. After the international break, Barcelona face a brutal stretch against Girona, Olympiacos, and Real Madrid, 3 matches that could define Hansi Flick's future. One more slip, and his position could become untenable. Marcus Rashford has done everything he can, scoring, running tirelessly, and fighting until the final whistle. But football has never been a one-man game. The 1-4 defeat to Sevilla was not just a painful result, it was a warning. Barcelona now stand at a crossroads: continue to believe in Hansi Flick's vision, or wake up before it's too late.